You're handsome.
Well,
Hi.
I don't know that I would say he's handsome. We have the most adorable French bulldog coming over. He's 7 months old. What is your dog really good at? And the answer on here is partially listening. Describe your dog's personality in one sentence. Feisty. That's my kind of dog.
So his registered AKC name is Experiment 626.
Sit. Good. Leave it alone. And look, he's already starting to anticipate. I love it. This is such a great communication building exercise. Leave it and look. Oh man, sustained eye contact. Up here. Oh, those eyes are ridiculous.
I know.
Man,
He really does look like Stitch.
it's important to phase out rewards once they've really mastered the basics in various environments, of course. Yes. Yeah, look at that. So we saw that Stitch is really good when you're using food as a currency, but how about play? That's what I'd like to test him for. Look at, I mean, he's very fixated on this squeaky ball. Oh my gosh, look at that. He can pick that ball up. How did you do that? Go get it. We're gonna take some of your questions right now from YouTube.
Our first question is from Maria Gambino, and it's actually on a BB-8 video. When the puppy was biting you and you distracted him, was it with food? I would assume that distracting with food can get confusing because it looks like a reward. Can you speak on that?
Okay, so that was probably on one of our puppy biting videos or
Yes.
something like that? Sure, that makes a lot of sense. I get that a lot and I can understand that. When you're trying to interrupt undesirable behavior, using a treat can be really good to get your dog's attention. But in general, you don't just reward with the treat the moment they pay attention to the treat. You take advantage of the fact that they're looking at the treat to bring it up to your eyes, to get them looking at you, then ask them to sit and stay, and then reward them. So really what you're doing is you're rewarding for the subsequent compliant behavior after they stop doing the thing, like biting or barking or jumping or whatever.
Haley Tran says, can you do a video on how to stop your dog from barking at cars that pass by?
Oh yeah, well I have done a video on that, and yeah, it can be tricky. I mean, there's some dogs who have really established behavior of chasing and lunging and barking at cars. It can definitely take some time to get past that. The more established a behavior is like that, the tougher it is to overcome. But the short answer is you really want to adopt a strategy of desensitizing your dog to cars passing by, as well as providing positive consequences when they do behave acceptably around cars. Exercising them just before those training sessions is probably required for the vast majority of dogs who have that, because I mean, you want to get as much of that energy out of them as possible before then asking them to just be good around something that they're accustomed to barking and lunging at. It's normal for that to take weeks to months of training, and you really have to dedicate time to it. But I do have a great video on that, and I'd recommend that you check that out.
Aiden says, I can't get my dog's attention. He's only 8 weeks old and he seems to be in his own world right now. What should I do?
I mean, if you can't get your dog's attention at 8 weeks, you're fine. There's a lot more important things to be focusing on with a dog at 8 weeks old. When you first start teaching a dog, especially a really young puppy, you have to be really cognizant of the fact that they've just been taken away from their mom and their litter mates. They know nothing of this world at all. So if you get any compliant behavior, that's great, but it's unreasonable to expect sustained focus, even if you do everything in my videos perfectly, because what your dog is lacking is life experience. And if you're a new pet parent, then you're also lacking the experience of teaching a dog. So there's a learning curve on your end and on your dog's end as well. So be understanding of that. There's so many things that your dog has to experience, and the only thing that can give them that experience is time.
SSJ3 wants to know, how do I train an adopted or rescued dog who's an adult?
Same way you train any other dog. Every dog who has their individual things that you have to work on, that's one thing, but that can be from a puppy or an adult dog or whatever. But bottom line, just start at the beginning, really focus on building your relationship and your communication together and bonding with your dog. I mean, that's the fastest way to success with any dog, is prioritizing the connection you have with them and really getting them interested in you, and you have to be genuinely interested in them. But a good question nonetheless. You can certainly teach older dogs new tricks. Yeah, tell me if you're enjoying the questions. Click thumbs up if you are so that I know. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I want to thank all of our patrons for sponsoring this video. See you next time.
Bye.